Good morning, everyone. Welcome and aloha. I know people are still trickling in, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome you. My name is Suzanne Schreiner. I am your outgoing KCFA president and your MC for today. So first and foremost, I have to thank my incredible volunteer team who pulled this off today. And if everyone could turn around and wave at Carolyn Whitcover. She is our chair. Franz Weber, I don't know if he's in the room, he's our co-chair, and they moved mountains to make this happen. So thank you for joining us today. Just a little housekeeping to start. If you could please silence your cell phones for me. If you do need to take a call, please do not pick up in the room. If you could walk out the back door rather than one of the side doors to answer your phone, I would appreciate it. If you haven't figured out where the restrooms are, they are behind the stairwell on this level. So you go past our registration desk and you'll find them there. As a member of the KCFA board, I can't say enough about the strength of our board and our membership. So thank you for coming out today. And I also need to thank our amazing sponsors who made this possible for us to offer this to our members at no cost. So most of our sponsors have vendor tables. Please go by, check them out, see what they have to offer, say thanks for coming out today, and just check in with them. They have a lot to offer us as farmers. So we have a very full menu today. In fact, it's more of a tasting menu. We're going to hit you with a lot of quick items through the day. Hopefully at lunch you'll have a chance to follow up with what interests you with our speakers. Our entire afternoon is pretty much dedicated to our science team from USDA, and they brought 14 people over from Hilo today. So if you guys could wave, thank you. If at lunch you have questions or on the breaks you have questions, please hit them up. They're very friendly. They love to talk science, so grab them and pull them aside. We also have Andrea here from CTAR who has a lot of information about coffee leaf rust. So get out there and get everything you need today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Sharon Hurd. She is the current nominee for HDOA chair. Unfortunately, she'll be joining us via Zoom because the legislature is keeping her very busy. She is our nominee, and we're going to pull out our pitchforks as farmers if they don't confirm her, because she has been a tremendous force on behalf of not just coffee, but agriculturalists everywhere. Many of you know her already. She started out at Delta Cargo, moving ag products many decades ago, moving our products around the globe. About 15 years ago, she started with the market development branch, where she continued to assist growers in getting our products out into the world. And I have known her personally since about 2008. We were a small company. Like most people, we were struggling during the recession. And I met Sharon, and she's like, come to this event. Just, I know you don't feel ready to export, but just come. She held my hand all the way through the process. We managed, obviously, to survive the recession. We picked up some customers in Taiwan and South Korea. And Sharon has continued to touch base with me over the years to make sure that we're doing okay. And that's something you don't see from a lot of people in the government, is that care of reaching back out consistently. And Sharon has been that. I'm going to steal a line from her. I was talking with her last week, and she said, Suzanne, people like me don't get to be chair. We're the worker bees. We're the background. And I am so thrilled that she is our current nominee for chair, Sharon Hurd.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but here's what the lesson that I learned, that when your legislative calendar says recess, it doesn't mean you're on recess. It means that your time to start working on other things. So that's why I'm not there in person. Again, I'm sorry. The next slide I have is to give the industry an idea of what the current Hawaii Department of Agriculture grant programs are. going back a little bit, the fiscal year 19 Special Crop Block Grant Program, that was, we had a project there submitted by the United Farmers Cooperative, and that was to enhance the competitiveness of Hawaiian coffee using cover crops and different kinds of rain gauges to help the industry find out what grows best under certain conditions. In 21, the project was, of course, on coffee leaf rust and coffee berry borer. That was conducted by U.S. PBARC. Tracy Matsumoto was the lead on that. Progress is really, moving forward. They have another year on that project. Wanted to let you know that Special Crop Block Grant Program Fiscal 23 is currently posted. Deadline is March 3rd. It's a hard deadline, noon on Friday. So anything coming in at 12:01, I'm afraid procurement rules does not permit us to review it. The other program that might be of interest is the Micro Grants for Food Security Program. This is funded by the 2018 Farm Bill. We just are finishing up our fiscal year 21 contracts. We had 7,400 plus applicants, and that was for 567 awards. Hawaii County did receive some awards. This is for individuals. It's almost like a home gardening type project to increase the quantity and quality of locally grown food in food insecure communities. Because of the food insecure communities clause in the statute that was passed by Congress, we went by the Food Security Index that is published on the web. It's a Claritas Food Insecurity Index. And if you can check where your zip code is on that. And if your zip code is a 5, that means you're considered food insecure. Goes down to 4.321. The 5s and the 4s were funded, some 3s, but for the most part, if you're a 2 or a 1, you'd have to wait for the cycle to come through, as no one household is going to get more than one award. So if you're in a very food secure community, good for you. We're funding the ones deemed to be food insecure. So the first thing that happened when the fiscal year 21 closed was we called our congressional delegation staffers. I didn't get a chance to speak to any of the actual delegates, but our message was we had 7,400 plus applicants. The $2 million that we awarded was wonderful, and we appreciate that. But apparently, we're going to need more like 30 million or 10 million a year for the 2023 Farm Bill in order to meet the need that's out there. Okay, so then please hold your questions. I have a little bit of time at the end for that. And then our sponsorship and product promotion program. This program is one that funds the Kona Coffee and Small Farm Expo, the Kona Coffee conferences, and we will continue to do that. We did not have the funding in 21 and 22, but it looks like we will in 23. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide. And now here's what the department can do for the Kona Coffee Farmers Association. We have a seal of quality that identifies and brands genuine Hawaii-made, Hawaii-grown products. We have several seal of quality members that are represented by the coffee industry. And I'm going to say that we appreciate your participation. The tourists, particularly from Japan, they do look for the seal as something genuine from Hawaii. The other two programs we have right now, Made in Hawaii with Aloha and Grown in Hawaii with Aloha. The seal of quality is a $50 application fee, and then you buy stickers after that to maintain the program, sustain the program. The Made in Hawaii with Aloha and Grown in Hawaii with Aloha, they're trademarks. They're at no cost to you, but the user does have to get a limited license from us just to be sure that your product is adhering to the statute 486-119. It's called the Handicrafters statute, but basically it protects those products that are made in Hawaii. Not really too concerned with the content on the Made in Hawaii side, but if you take the time and effort to make your product here, then you deserve to let people know that you're not shipping your product off to the mainland or to another foreign country for processing or manufacture. Right now, the Grown in Hawaii with Aloha is, we just trademarked that, and I'm going to put a shout out to Suzanne and her efforts to promote this Grown in Hawaii with Aloha logo in Canada for another industry, but certainly we encourage the coffee industry to use it as well. The other program that we have is the WUSADA. Many of you might be familiar with WUSADA. They're funded also by the Farm Bill, the MAP program, the Market Access Program. WUSADA plans inbound and outbound missions. The inbound missions brings the buyers to you, and the outbound missions brings you to the buyer. And they're all planned by the staff at the Department of Agriculture in the Market Development Branch. It's a good way to start. It's a good start to considering exporting. The buyers give you questions, so you know what kinds of questions the buyers are asking. On an outbound mission, you get to see the marketplace that you'll be visiting, that you'll be trying to penetrate, you might say. The embassy there, the agriculture trade offices, they host those that they take a spot in the USA Pavilion. I won't go into the branded program, but the branded program is to promote products of the USA. You can get up to 50% reimbursement for your marketing efforts on international soil. So that is something to help you with your trade shows when you go through WUSADA and display in the USA Pavilion with USA products. Okay, right now as we speak, Gulf Food. Gulf Food happens in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. It ends on the 24th, which is today. Right now you have 3 coffee companies that are represented within the Hawaii Department of Agriculture booth in Dubai: Kona Naturals, Waimea Coffee, and Generations Kona Coffee. We have a contractor in Dubai who is she's a U.S. citizen with a lot of experience promoting U.S. products in the GCC. She is really high on coffee. She thinks Hawaii coffee has a good potential. We work with Suzanne. By the way, you're very lucky Suzanne is the promoter that she is and the supporter that she is on behalf of the coffee industry. Victoria is her name in Dubai, and she got wind of an opportunity at the World Cup, and she let us know that they got some Kona coffee off the Amazon, off the web, and she was going to promote it at a little barista competition there. We tried to kick into action quickly and get some coffee there so she could actually use some Kona coffee there. I'm not sure how that ended because the World Cup came and went so quickly as far as the promotion. So my point is we have people in Dubai and in the GCC that are looking out for the interests of Hawaii coffee. If you would like to participate in Gulf Food 2024, which is in February of 2024, if you would contact or go to the website there and fill out what they call a application of interest, you'll be on the list to be considered. Right now, Gulf Food is a new area for us, so the Department of Agriculture was able to cover the cost of the booth, which those of you that have been to Gulf Food know that it's a little bit, I think it was maybe about $10,000 or $8,000 a booth, but we were able to cover that on your behalf. Then, the last but not least, the Department of Agriculture priorities for coffee. I call this my magic wand request because if you could wave a magic wand and get everything you wanted, this would be it. The department focuses on the farmers. We recognize that the farmers produce the materials for the supply chain. So as many processing facilities or value-added warehouse facility operation types, they're all wonderful and we support every one of them. But without the farmer, they would not have any product to process, manufacture, package, or sell. So we know that the farmers take all the risks, and the department puts our effort into supporting you. All of our testimony, if you've had a chance to watch the ones after the first one, we always say, what about the farmer? If there's a task force, what about the farmer? If there's a project, let's think about adding the farmer to that particular legislation. The other thing we'd like to do is provide you the resources The resources, the most valuable resource the Department of Agriculture has is our staff. I like to say that in the whole world, there's no one who knows more about their specialty subject matter section for Hawaii than the staff at the HDOA. Ask us anything. Pesticides. We are the authority for Hawaii. Ask us about animal industry. We're the authority for Hawaii. Ask us about marketing. So we're going to make the staff more visible and more accessible. We've asked them to, attend your meetings, attend your festivals. If you want someone from pesticides to come out to you, either from your Kona office or the office here, send them an email. Send me an email. We'll make sure they get it. And if at all possible, they'll be there. They are going to be visible. They want to tour your farms. They want to see what's going on out there. And we will provide you alerts on funding, whether it's county, state, federal, or private. We'll send you information. Through the KCFA, we have a listserv of about 1,000 emails. Join the listserv and you'll be first to hear about it. We have a focus also on biosecurity. I don't know if you've been watching the hearings, but the legislators are very much concerned about CBB and CLR, as well as CRB, coconut rhinoceros beetle. I think coconut rhinoceros beetle is a big focus because it's contained right now. It's on Oahu. It is not, to our knowledge, found its way to the neighbor island. So we're doing everything we can to contain CRB to Hawaii. We're focused on biosecurity. We're asking them to restore our barrel tax, which was established for biosecurity purposes. And if we have the barrel tax restored, we can. The benefit to that is we can react fast. We have the funding. We can deploy. We can hire. So it's important for us to have access to funding to react quickly. Talk a little bit about CRB. CRB is spreading on Oahu. We're still looking towards control, hopefully eradication. It moves around through shared green waste and composting. So we're asking through an interim rule that if you make green waste, if you make composting on your property, just keep it on your property. Hawaii is so nice, and we like to share our things. We found out, or we've determined, that the CRB is moving island-wide through shared composting. It went to Eva Beach, it went to Waimanalo, so just a heads up. If you have green waste in your facility or in your neighborhood, kind of sift through it. If you see a giant white larva, let us know. That means you have CRB, but do not share your green waste. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about is the Hawaii Farm Bill. Some of you might have heard me mention this before. When I was at the NASDA meeting, which is the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture, Pennsylvania representative during the state roundtable, Pennsylvania said they took them 2 years, but they put together a Pennsylvania Farm Bill. The National Farm Bill, which is being put together now, 2023 Farm Bill, it's a great tool to address nationwide issues. Wonderful for all the states to get together and talk things that affect all of us. The Pennsylvania Farm Bill specifically worked on address their workforce development shortcomings. They were able to get together, put together a Pennsylvania Farm Bill that was accepted and passed by their legislature and funded by $22 million the first year. Went to their website yesterday, and it looks like they got, since it was first established, they've been funded up to $55 million. $55 million is the entire budget of the Department of Agriculture in 2022. So, yeah, I'm saying it's a good idea if people in Hawaii would get together and collaboratively put together a farm bill, present it to the legislature. It's going to be difficult to pick that apart because it'll be represented by the entire agriculture industry statewide. We can also, for the coffee industry, we can certainly work on workforce development. We are aware of the problem that is global, that workers, especially seasonal workers, are really hard to come by. The other thing I thought we would do for the coffee industry is laboratory testing services. grading. We need to stand up maybe even a tissue culture facility. Those are the priorities in 2023, but they are for the 4-year term of yes, me and my staff during this really critical time for post-COVID. The legislature said to me, "Can you guess why, Sharon? The Department of Agriculture only gets 0.4% of the state budget." And the answer was, because you don't ask. The Department of Agriculture does not make the big ask. So from 2023 to the supplemental next year, throughout, we're going to be asking. So I'm going to be working with Suzanne and the leadership to see what do you need. We'll prioritize it with your help, and we'll present it to the next legislature in 2024. We do have an opportunity for a supplemental budget then. Okay, so I have about 2 minutes left for questions. Suzanne?
Check.
I can pass them through the microphone. Sharon, do you have specific initiatives to develop the workforce? Can you hear me, Sharon? She might not be able to hear me.
Type it in the chat. She's paying attention.
Okay. Okay. We're specific initiatives to develop the workforce.
Hearing none. Seeing
Oh, wait,
none.
wait. Can you check the chat? I know we've all experienced our issues with Zoom over the last few years, so. I'll tell you what, I will email her that question. Were there any other questions? Una had one?
Suzanne, I can hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay. We had a question about if you have specific initiatives to develop the workforce. I know we're short on time.
Specific-
Initiatives.
Oh, initiatives to
Yeah.
develop the workforce. I did meet a gentleman at the NASDA meeting, and he specifically represented Peru. So I don't have any specific initiatives, but I'm going to be working through NASDA, through their network of global resources, and I can report back to you when I have some kind of initiative.
Hi, Sharon. This is Una Greenaway. How will we know when the hearing is where they're going to grill you and find, where they're going? Do we have any idea when the hearing is coming up so the folks in our organization can, send in their testimony or testify through Zoom to support
Maybe
you?
type it in the chat box, Suzanne.
We're putting it in the chat box.
Thanks.
When is your confirmation hearing? Can you hear me?
Oh, thanks for that question. Nothing has been set yet, but I kind of think it's going to be in late March, early April, based on the legislative schedule. Then I will let you know.
Okay, thank you. Sharon, we appreciate your time this morning, so thanks for zooming in, and thank you for everyone. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Sharon.